want to share about this time we had. I think it was on Wednesday, but I might be confused. We were out sharing with people and we had this interview set up and it kind of fell through. I was with Olivia and myself and one of our translators, Esteban. And so we just decided, hey, let's go to a park. We were in Pelileo and we went to a park and we saw this lady sitting there. She was about 60 years old. She looked a little discouraged and we just walked up and started talking to her. And we found out quite quickly why she was so discouraged. Her son had just left her home and slapped her and beat her on the way out. And so she was just sharing with us how hurt she was. And so I was able to share John 3:16 with her and talk about God and his son and how God loves her. She actually accepted Christ on that day after a little conversation, and she prayed a prayer all by herself, and I was so proud of her. And then what was really fascinating, because our God is so awesome, is the pastor's wife came around the corner. I waved her over, we made a contact, and she's going to get plugged into a church now. That's what's happening in Ecuador. It's so exciting.
One morning, we leave the restaurant where we had breakfast with the owner. He wants us to stop with and talk to our neighbor. He says, I want you to talk to him about God, and I want you to see if you can get him to come to our church. So we're on the side of a mountain in the middle of Ecuador, in the cloudy mist, and this gentleman is very gracious to have us in his vegetable hut. And we start talking to him about God and who he is. We ask him questions. He was very much a naturalist. He sold the produce that he raised on the side of the mountain. I think he knew God, and we were very happy to talk to him about what it meant to be saved.
So on Friday, we got to work with a group called Filters of Hope. As a group here, that kind of brings in filters. So we have a friend named Clint, who's actually from Springfield, Missouri. He was here bringing those filters with us. We got to go into the jungle and just put those into people's homes while also sharing the gospel. We bring them 2 free gifts. You know, we're bringing them clean water, which is amazing, but we're also bringing them the gospel. So we get to share with them Jesus and give them Bibles as well. When it comes to the water, sometimes it's the first time they've seen clean water before, and their faces were just amazed by it. It was such an amazing experience to see. The filters, you know, they provide sin is the dirty water. We go through Jesus as the filter to get purified. So it's just a great analogy for the gospel.
On Saturday on our trip, we got invited to go to a native tribe in the jungle of Ecuador. To get there, it was about an hour and a half drive from Puyo, where we stayed at. We had to cross a river through a kayak, which is pretty cool. And then we got to their welcome center for the tourists, and they welcomed us with open arms. It was kind of great. And then they sent us on our way to the second checkpoint, and that's where we met the spiritual healer there. He was the wisdom leader. Everyone went to him for everything. And then we got to meet Rambo, who was kind of cool. He did a bunch of flips for us. And then we got to meet all of his pets, some snakes, some parrots, some toucans. It was awesome. And then he sent us on our way. And then we got to go dance one of their native dances that they do after a hunting season.
Javi, Evelyn, and their team, they did a great job of taking care of us as we came into Ecuador, getting us to a hotel, getting us fed every day. They made sure we had everything we needed and even more. I personally wasn't feeling well. They made sure that I got everything I needed to feel the best that I could. And they even provided an opportunity where we traveled into the Amazonian area and got to meet with a group of families and children. We did activities with the children. We colored, and we played soccer with some of the boys and girls and had a great time.
When people ask me what all happened on our trip to Ecuador, I always mention that God had softened the hearts of the people that we talked to. Javi and Evelyn and their team reassured us every step of the way that these people were ready to have the conversations with us. They're ready to have their hearts and minds changed, and I didn't believe that at all. I mean, I really didn't. I didn't think we were going to have the success that we did, But the people in Ecuador, God has been working through them, and they were receptive. It was impressive of them. They were wanting to highlight verses. They were wanting to read more. Where do I start? And I didn't expect that at all. We all have plenty of stories, and we can't wait to share them with you all. I hope you enjoy this little recap.
Worship your holy name. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing your song again. Whatever may burst and whatever lies before me. Singing when the evening comes. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship His holy